Well, it's been a long time coming, but I finally have a functional workshop. Now, it's not done yet, but I'm really excited about showing you guys the progress we've made. Now, a lot of thought went into the layout of my shop. I didn't want to just drag things in and plug them in. So I thought today I would show you exactly my process for laying out my shop. Let's have a look inside. And here's the space. Now, I'm going to give you a much more detailed tour here in just a minute, but I actually want to start by just telling you a little bit about my strategy and how I ended up with the layout that I have. Taking a minute to think about your shop layout is going to pay huge dividends in the future. Instead of just dragging tools into the space that they fit in when you're all sweaty and tired, and then you just give up and leave it where it is, if you're sitting on the couch, you're comfortable, you can really think about your plan and how the tool is going to be used, you're going to end up making much better decisions. I think the most important first step before you plug in any tools, start making shelves or anything like that, is go ahead and take a minute to measure your space. While you're doing that, you should go ahead and know where electrical panels are, where your outlets are, especially if you need 240 volt outlets. Things like space for swinging doors, sometimes that's ignored when the door is closed. You put something too close to the door and then you open it and now the door is in the way. Another thing to pay attention to is where you might end up with extension cords stretched across the floor. You'll see I indicated all of the outlets, whether they're 120 or 240. I also indicated where the panels were because I'll be regularly getting in and out of the electrical panel. And you should leave space to access the panel anyway. That is, required. Once you've laid out your footprint, you should also go ahead and add to it anything that you think is critical for your workflow. For me, one of the critical things is to still be able to back my truck into the space and offload material onto my CNC table. And because of that, you'll see in my drawing, I've left out a pretty large footprint in order to be able to back my truck into the shop. While you're in the shop taking measurements, you should also go ahead and measure all of your tools. But not just the tools themselves, you need to take into account the space that's needed to actually use the tool. I've made this mistake myself by putting my miter saw on my tool carousel, which was in the corner. When I rotated to use the miter saw, I could only cut pieces of wood up to a certain length because the wood would be hitting the wall as I was trying to cut it. This led me to rearrange my tools so that the miter saw would have a little bit more length for cutting long boards. But these are the kind of things that you want to pay attention to and do your best with your space to account for that. The next step is going to be to draw it all out on paper. I sat on the couch and drew out a two-dimensional scale model of what my shop would look like. And then I went to 3D and started modeling my tools. Now, you don't have to do anything fancy. It could just be blocks that represent the volume of space that the tool takes up. All right, let's take a quick look here. As you can see from the top view, I've got my truck backed into the shop. This is just a toy truck model that I downloaded and then scaled it up to the right size to represent my truck in real life, including the truck bed. And as I mentioned before, here are some blocks that represent additional tools. My my CNC machine is fully modeled, but I did not want to reveal too much to you guys, so I turned it into a block so that you couldn't see it. But as you can see, there's going to be two electrical panels on the wall and then a place to mount tools for both the CNC machine as well as other tools. Now, one of the critical steps for me in this is that I want all of my tools to be visible from the middle of a shop. Now, I understand how difficult that is. That's quite a challenge. But I want every tool that I use, every square, wrench, screwdriver, whatever, I want to be able to stand in the middle of the shop and see it mounted on the wall or sitting on a shelf. I hate drawers. Things get lost in drawers. And so I'm going to try to avoid that as much as possible. And that means everything needs to be mounted up on the wall, but also as near as possible to the place where it'll be used. And I'll show you more on that when I walk you around the shop here in a little bit. But as you can see, there's going to be mounting on the wall for the CNC tools as well as a few other tools. This 55-gallon drum just represents my dust collector, which will be in this corner here. Eventually, I'd like to put that guy outside the wall out here and then just run the pipes inside. And that's just going to be to reduce noise. This is the space for a welding machine, which I don't have yet, but hopefully I'll have a welder pretty soon. Still shopping around for that guy. This is the flip top workbench, which again, you'll see on the tour. And that's the space that it takes up. My air compressor, and that's the whole space. Now, there's a small room upstairs, which I will be using for teaching videos, and I'll show you what that looks like a little bit later. So why am I trying to keep this space for the truck? Well, I want to be able to unload either plywood or sheets of steel from the back of my truck directly onto the CNC. But a sheet of steel could be several hundred pounds. So my plan is to design and build a crane system so that I could lift those sheets by myself and lower them onto the CNC machine safely. And again, that's another design being worked on right now. A lot of projects lined up. But in order to be able to do that easily, of course, I need to be able to back the truck up into the shop. And the truck won't always be in there, so if we move this guy outside, flip it around, and now we have plenty of space to pull out something like the table saw, use it, and then push it back up against the wall. All of these tools are on casters, so everything will be easy to move. But once you take into account where the electrical panel is, where the door is, and the outlets for things that you want to plug in, I pretty much ended up with everything along the wall here on this right side of the shop from this orientation. And that's how I arrived at this layout. There's one more limitation I forgot to mention, and that is that panel has got to be really close to that panel. This dude requires a lot of power, and I need these cables to be as short as possible. And that's kind of a restriction. Ideally, I'd want to put it in the back of the shop, but I'm going to need to put it over here to be as close to the power supply as possible. So I essentially started at the front of the shop and started sweeping my way to the back, moving things to the place that I wanted. After moving the air compressor over to where it is now, as you can see, I also mounted my air hose there, and then I opened the door to double check and make sure that it doesn't interfere with the operation of the door. Another thing that I like to do is mount my safety equipment near the door. So when my kids walk in, they're all trained to reach over to the wall, grab their safety glasses before they walk through the shop. There was a 240 outlet that you can see here and here. I've actually expanded those guys to allow more tools to be plugged in. And I double checked the wire gauge, make sure that it can handle the amperage for the tools that will be plugged in there. But also I'm only using one tool at a time, so that actually wasn't a problem, but it's better to be safe than sorry if you've got multiple people working in your shop. Make sure that if you're increasing the capacity of things that can be plugged in, that the wire gauge and everything can handle that. And near my drill press, I have all the tools associated with the drill press. So my drill bits, Forstner bits, etc., all mounted on the wall here. Tools that don't get used as often get mounted further away from central use. So I don't use the lathe all that often. I only pull it down occasionally. So I decided to mount that guy on the shelf instead of giving it a dedicated space on the floor. And here we've just got some benches that are sort of resting there now, but those guys won't have a permanent spot. Got to use your imagination. Things are still under construction, but that's essentially representing where the welding machine will be. And this guy will be torn down and my new workbench will be built right there. Again, I mentioned earlier that I wanted tools to be mounted on the wall. So measuring, squaring tools, all that stuff is going to be over here. And then over here is sort of my primary working space. So all of my wrenches and everything that I'm constantly grabbing while building things will be right over this workbench. And now we get to some areas that are definitely still under construction. I got to come up with some type of wood storage solution. That looks awful, but that's what we have. Over here is where I plan to mount all of the CNC tools, things that'll be related to that table. And then tools that don't get used very often will be mounted up relatively high. But the idea is that the less frequently you use a tool, the further away it should be from the workbench. The last tip that I want to give you is to ask for help. Get somebody else to look at your drawing, look at your layout, especially if they work with tools and they have their own workshop. They may think of ideas that you haven't been thinking of, which brings me to our next point. I'm going to ask you guys to do exactly that for me. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to post some pictures on Twitter and Instagram. All those links are in the description. I'll post pictures of the shop as it is now while it's still under construction, and you guys have a chance to give me some feedback before I get set in my ways. Feel free to download those pictures, make notes on them. Let me know what you think. And I would love to get some feedback from you, especially about this terrible wood storage here. And oh, wait, I need to show you upstairs. Okay. Yeah, again, lighting needs work, but you can see my workbench right over there. And this guy we're going to be using for doing some teaching. This whole room needs a lot of work. I got to redo the lights. There's going to be storage for all the electrical stuff over there. And then that's pretty much it. That's the only thing that'll be going on up here. So anyway, let me know what you think about the layout of the shop. Post your ideas on Twitter and Instagram, whichever platform you like. And I'll see you guys here pretty soon with the next build. Thanks for watching.